This week's Torah reading, Vayikra, initiates the third book of the Torah. And at first glance, it appears to be a continuation of the construction of the tabernacle of the Mishkan. One of the purposes, of course, was for enabling the Jews to bring karbanos, to bring sacrifices. So in Vayikra, the Torah gives all the details, all the specifics pertaining to the way in which sacrifices were brought. And the highlight of this, of course, is what's called the Avodat Yom HaKippurim, the service of Yom Kippur, which was performed by the high priest, and the only time of the year he entered into the Holy of Holies. And the point being that he was able to effectuate atonement for the entire people of Israel. And the subject of karbanos is extremely controversial, especially to the modern reader, because it's difficult to understand what is the benefit, what is the point of taking animals and sacrificing them to God. What indeed does that mean? Is it possible for man to give anything to God? That's an absurd idea. So that has to be studied carefully. However, the second half of the book deals with other kinds of topics. The topics, for example, Kedoshim, exhorting the Jews to be holy people. And it goes into all kinds of laws, reining in one's own instincts, how much one eats or what one eats, kosher, and the sexual relations, to produce an individual who is able to control his urges and to live in a moderate fashion. Also, all the laws pertaining to the treatment of others. The Torah is very, very demanding. We can't take advantage of other people, and we can't hurt their feelings even in words. Verbal abuse is a prohibition of the Torah, way before anybody else ever discovered that term. So then what's the subject of the book? Why is it that all of these laws pertaining to personal holiness and to harmonious relations with others, what do they have in common with the book, which ostensibly is talking about sacrifices? The purpose of animal sacrifices, of course, main purpose is for a person to atone from his sins. Man can't help it. He's a sinner by nature, but he's not doomed. We don't believe that man is evil by nature. He has to recognize. The greatness of man is that he can recognize his nature, and he can examine himself, and he can change behaviors. He's not a victim. He's not a prisoner of his natural of his inclinations. Some people, everybody has different types of inclinations. Some people are very calm by nature. Some people are extremely angry or egotistical, and so on and so forth. So does that mean that they're going to be bad people? No. Their task is to gain awareness of their instincts, of their emotions, and man has been created in such a way that he can make changes, if that is his desire, and God will help him to make those changes. A person should never give up on himself. I believe that the reason why the laws pertaining to being holy and treating people in a great way, and so on and so forth, what the connection is with Vayikra, which is about, the first half is about sacrifices, is to teach us an important lesson that the sacrifice per se does not mean anything. In fact, the prophets railed against sacrifices to the extent they said that God doesn't need you. He doesn't want your sacrifices. Well, yeah, he just commanded us. What do you mean he doesn't want? I think it means that sacrifice that stems from a faulty idea, that we can, so to speak, do what we want, then we make a payment. Then we go to the temple and we provide a sacrifice which provides benefits. I mean, the Kohanim, they would eat from it and so on and so forth. You can't make a payoff. See, you can't use any kind of a bribe to absolve yourself from sin. The benefit of the sacrifice has to do with the extent to which a person looks within himself. That's why you have the book of holiness. And then the manner in which you have to live your own life, the manner in which you have to treat others, the respect you have to show for others, and you have to show respect for yourself by living an intelligent life. That's the combination. To teach us that don't rely on the sacrifice itself. There's no such thing in Judaism. There's no magical wand. There's no magical action that automatically absolves you. You can do whatever you want to do, then you go. I mean, there are the religions that are like that. And, you know, many people are gangsters. They engage in all kinds of crimes and murder. Then they go to their church and they make their payment, then everything is clean, that's it. That's not Judaism. It's not a religion of cleansing you, enabling you to to do what you want and then become absolved. Even if you give a lot of charity from stolen money, it's meaningless. The way to perfection, the way to heaven, is through looking within and correcting one's own actions.